Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. This is STCPod, the podcast edition of Start to Continue. Is that a thing? Hey, way before the Start to Continue YouTube channel, there was STCPod, the podcast. We're working on episode 294. That's how long we've been doing this podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bill. Welcome to the show. I have some time before my co-host Joe gets here to introduce what the show is. Just a podcast where we sit around, chat, catch up for about an hour. It's a howdy do. It's a chop busting break in your day where we take a look at everything that's been bugging us and what's been happening, and basically all the things that have been sticking in my craw all week. And I got plenty. Starting with my co-host, which makes me wait every time, but I will forge on ahead. And I'll start the show, and this gives me a little moment to introduce the show and say hi to everyone who's showed up for the live recording, which is on YouTube. You can join in the live chat if you want. Of course, this will later get published to all podcasting sources out there. iTunes, Stitcher, there's so many, Google, Shutterfly. There's so many. In fact, if you find we're not on one, drop me a line over at starttocontinuemail@gmail.com and tell me, because as far as I know, we're everywhere, but there's so many different new podcast aggregators out there, or whatever the hell, pod catchers. It's hard to keep up, especially with companies buying other companies. Like now, Sirius Pandora has now purchased Stitcher, so they're part of that whole group. So it's a big confusing mess. Shopify, are they a podcast thing? So Shopify. And hey, Lotus, thanks for stopping on by. It's good to see Lotus Stark popping in the chat. And Lotus, long time supporter. Appreciate the Lotus. He knows my pain. He's actually met Joe in person, so he knows what I go through, I think, a little bit. He follows Joe on his other channel, which we'll be talking about. I can't wait to get into that. Some big news coming out. Anyways, enough of me, especially if you guys are just listening. If you download the podcast, you're like, what am I listening to? Let's bring on the real reason everyone tunes in, folks. The big star of the show.
Yeah, what the fuck weren't they listening to there, man?
Welcome to my co-host Joe. And with
all the ramblings of an old man. That's what
nearly 300 episodes. Well, I got a second while waiting. Shocking. Just like most episodes, I got a chance to introduce the podcast to people who may not have been here before.
Good. I don't have to hear it. No, I thought we were going at 9:30. I was sitting on the couch watching my bodybuilding videos with Bridget Jones having a baby on the TV, whatever that movie's called. What's that one called where she has the baby?
How would I know? I have no idea. Why would I be watching that?
Bridget Jones. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, sorry, man.
No, hey, I'm used to it, dude. I am used to this passive aggressive. You know exactly what's going on. You're just going to stick it to us and stick it to the subscribers for subscribing.
We normally go at 9:30.
Okay, Lotus, back me up. Have we ever gone at 9:30? I'll just answer for him. No. Only if I've waited for a full half hour for you, then it would be.
No, because you're usually busy with the kids.
Okay, that's happened. I'll grant you that.
Huh? There you go.
That's happened. However, we did talk, and this has been booked and scheduled.
We talked. We never confirmed the time. We're going Friday, right? I guess.
Hear that, people? It's me banging my head. I guess. That's you saying I guess, like I'm.
Yeah, that is me saying I guess.
Look, I know you're a big man now. You got bigger things, but it is. I am privileged as ever to have you take us along this ride to 300. 300
what?
episodes.
Oh, take that, Fandango.
So, well, they're still pumping out weekly, like a good podcast should.
Some people don't have anything better to do.
So we were off for a little while. Joe was away taking care of things with the cottage crew, so that's why we were away. Plus Thanksgiving came in. I don't know if that really played anything into it, but Canadian Thanksgiving happened while we were away. We can talk about that later. But first, the biggest news ever, as you can see on our YouTube stream here, Joe comes from us from the big channel, YouTube channel, My Life in Collecting. So huge news over there from that camp. And congratulations wholeheartedly to my friend and partner, Joe, on his YouTube channel, surpassing 1,000 subscribers. Yay!
Where's the soundboard applause?
I just did that. It's old Stern style. I'm so proud of you, and it is so well deserving, my friend.
Thanks, man. It was I finally managed to pull myself out of the mud after 2 years. Long trudge through the slop.
It is so satisfying to see people discover your channel and devour all of the glorious content therein.
Yeah, if you're looking to be bored, why not pop on over to My Life in Collecting? Why not?
Such a pleasure for me to see my friends succeed like that. Friends who help other friends as much as they do. It's karma. Karma works, folks. Joe has his own set of karma, but it works.
I thought I said sarcasm there.
No.
What are you drinking? I can't see because I'm on my iPhone because I forgot my Twitter password, so I can't get onto my computer. Follow that?
No.
I couldn't log on to Twitter on my computer because I forgot my Twitter password.
We're not on Twitter. We're on.
Yeah, but you sent me the link to Twitter.
Oh, boy.
So I had to use my phone's app, which has it memorized. Too many passwords, man. I can't take it anymore.
Dude, I know it. That is my sorrow. Although I have gotten really good since I've gotten this latest phone of finding the settings in my phone, which opens up the password manager and shows me everything. So I'm getting really handy at that.
I don't have that at all. I'm worried if I lose my phone, someone will get all my passwords.
Well, you still need your fingerprint to access the password manager. So it is still secure.
There's a way to bypass that. I think the people from Huawei know how to get past that.
Oh, well, if they want my, my whatever account, go ahead.
If they want your password to the Bob Dylan Reddit section.
Exactly. Go ahead. Go vote up my Bob Reddits, whatever you call them. So, yeah.
Or they might order you some extra stuff from the White Stripes website there.
Do you want to bring that up? I'd be happy to discuss that.
You bring whatever you want up, dude.
Oh.
I'm not afraid to talk about it.
There's
nothing to talk about.
Look, I went and visited Joe at his side of the room while we were at work, and he hastily brushed some stuff in behind him, which trying to be inconspicuous makes it conspicuous.
No. If you're going to lie right from the start, let me correct you. I was actually working at my workstation, and the stuff was behind me on another level of the floor beside my knapsack. And then Snoopy McSnoop starts rummaging around because he sees stuff, and then he pulls out this I don't have it with me here. It's the White Stripes some Northern Lights tour that they did, right? What's it called?
Oh, you're the big fan. Surely you should know about it.
I didn't say I was a big fan. I just said it looked interesting. I might want to add it to my DVD concert footage library because I like to play concert DVDs in the background because it's a nice visual as well, along with hearing the music.
He's a big fan. He's told me before he's not a fan of Jack White, by the way. He's turned me down for Jack White tickets before. Well, and he's not interested in his type of music. They were expensive,
and I don't know a lot about their music except for like maybe 2 or 3 songs.
So I saw that there. I got very excited. Oh, Joe, son of a bitch. Thanks, dude. You found it for me because he knew I've been looking for this documentary
How would I know you've been looking
for years. For years. And there it is. Joe has found it free on the thrift trail. It's the the White Stripes. They did this tour across Canada where they played in every single province across Canada at these crazy little venues. They would do pop-up shows like at a school, or they did one in a subway car, or like just really crazy. And they did it all in winter too. Like it's a really cool story. And I haven't seen the documentary, but I've been looking for it for a while. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because it's usually pretty expensive. It's out of print. And Joe found it. And I thought, fuck, you know how we all keep a lookout for each other for shit? And we're like, hey, I got this for you. I found this for you. Not Joe. Oh, I think I'll be adding that to my collection.
No.
Oh.
One, okay,
Wow.
Let me make some amendments now. One, it's not expensive. It's like $10 on eBay.
Shipped here?
Not expensive. Not if you get Canadian. So not expensive. I stumbled across it, so it's not rare. And two, you wanted to take it before I even got the opportunity to sit down and watch it to see if it's something I might like.
Well, I can count two. One,
and then
you'll never watch it.
I'm not done. Finger 4. Where are you? I said, if I don't like it, I'll just give it to you.
That was never said. I tried to bully that out of you, but it never got out of your mouth.
You say you tried to bully me to get it.
Yeah, I tried every move.
Watch something that I pick up before, like.
I tried sympathy, compassion, empathy. I tried everything, and then I had to resort to bullying.
Don't forget guilt.
Guilt, sure, and nothing worked. I even brought up all my past presents to Joe, where I've reached out to him and got him stuff.
I've given you plenty of things too. It's been a well trade.
Yeah.
I've given you cameras. I've given you multiple cameras. No.
Which you researched and found it was worth less than zero.
I've given you multiple cameras. And music. All I said was give me a chance to sit down and watch it.
You'll never watch it.
Yeah, I will.
You hate like female drummers and stuff, for one.
Is there a female drummer?
It is the White Stripes.
I don't know. I only care about him.
See?
Yeah. Who else is there to care about? Why would I care about the other band members? Who's the money maker? Him. Who's the only one that fans care about? Him.
No. Well, that's not. It's the White Stripes, which is a duo, him and Meg, and their sauce together is what made it.
I only care about him.
It's her sound that she brought into it, made it the White Stripes, her simplistic drumming style, and him working within that made the White Stripes their sound. I like
his writing style and guitar playing and vocals.
That is wholly not true, because you've told me that. I have no interest, I believe is the exact words when I brought up Jack White, or when I tried to talk to you about Jack White stuff. Or
I told you the concert was too expensive. And the fact that you're part of the music club, I can't justify that much money 4 times a year to get music that you essentially have. You have no idea what's coming, right? So if I'm paying that much to his fan club or whatever you want to call it, I want to get his material. I don't want to get material that he's producing for other people.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. If you did catch my latest The Vault unboxing, their latest edition was a Johnny Cash package, which who doesn't want that?
So that'd be okay.
Yeah.
That's because it's only Johnny Cash.
And then next month's will be a White Stripes greatest hits kind of package with exclusive vinyl. I'm not,
cool.
Now it's cool.
Yeah, because it's about them. I can appreciate it, man. It just doesn't mean I gotta go crazy gaga over everything.
I've always said I should record Joe 100% of the time if I can have it. Right?
Did you get some sleep? Because Bill and I both worked the last 2 overnights. Well, I did 3. Bill did 2. But did you get some sleep today?
Eventually, it was tough going to sleep again. I think that new Italian roast coffee at work is really powerful.
What?
Yeah. I think it's like super caffeinated.
3 in the morning you had that.
I know. I was jittery after I drank it. And I tell you, I was wide awake until probably 10 again. So
I slept until your kids have a PA day today? No, mine did. So that was a nice surprise when I came home. Normally I'm home by 7:15. They don't leave for school till 8, so I'll fall asleep on my my office floor. I'll just lie down and pass out for 40 minutes. They wake me up when it's time to drive them to school. I drive them to school, and then as soon as I get back home, I go right to bed.
So you're not helping them get ready at all. That's someone else's problem. As you lay on the floor.
There's that old saying, too many cooks in the kitchen, right?
Yeah. So, you got 2 kids to get ready. Surely you could help out a little.
They're old enough to do a lot of stuff themselves.
Well, no, you don't let them, remember?
We're easing up. Is that what it is?
Hope so.
Up? That's not even the word.
It's good to hear.
Easing up.
Okay, so they wake you up and you drive.
I ended up... yeah, that's a normal routine, but today was a PA day, so I laid down on the floor, and they said, I go, wake me up when it's time to take you to school. They said, we don't have school, it's PA day. I said, oh, great. There goes my day. So I went to bed right away and then got up at noon. So I'm on my 5th Coke of the day to try and stay awake. Well,
you've seem pretty jolly today and interactive on Twitter for the first time in a long time. So that's everyone got very excited to see Joe tweeting.
How do you know what I put out on Twitter?
Because I follow the community and support it. So when people start accessing it, I can see it and I can get the vibe of people getting excited that Joe's reaching out to them. Someone mentioned Joe's name in a tweet. So he got in there. Anyways, hey, Jared Retro Revolutions for popping in. And Lotus has a question for Joe to follow up on our last show. You said you installed the SSD drive in your MacBook, or the Geek Squad did. Is that working out for you?
Yes and no. I can't see the comments because I'm on my iPhone, but the SSD drive is working great. I upgraded from a 250 gig standard disk drive to 500 gigabyte SSD. Super fast, super quiet. Unfortunately, I can't update the operating system anymore. So the programs that I want to use are no longer accessible on, because I've gone too far. I can't remember if it's behind or ahead in terms of operating system. Maybe I guess it's behind. Anyway, I can't use my couple programs, so literally they bricked it for me. But the kids are using it for some school stuff. My wife uses it, so whatever.
What do you mean? You actually gave up on it?
I've touched it a handful of times since I got it fixed. Like maybe 5-6 times.
Well, that was your whole production studio. So how are you creating everything?
Yeah, I got to pay people now to do it for me. I send it to my my shop. So super frustrating. I want to bash my head against the wall. Goddamn. I don't know what it is. Why can't you continue updating the OS on a MacBook? I don't care if it makes it slower. Allow me to do it.
It's Apple. They are allowing you to buy a new one.
Like,
and the brainwashers will do it.
I can't even put iMovie onto this MacBook. Apple's own product. I can't install.
Doesn't that frustrate you with that company?
Yeah. Makes me want to smash things.
But you're willing to buy the next one from them.
Starting with my wife. What?
But you will buy the next one as an Apple. You will go back to it.
It's there. Listen, this
Here we go.
Aside from some program cacking it out and having me to get it fixed, this thing's like 12 years old, and it's been literally a workhorse. It's had 0.0 issues up until this point since I got it.
Okay,
it's a fucking beast.
Listen to episode 1 through 186 of STCPod to hear all the issues that we had with your computer.
No, that was like with the microphones and me figuring out how to use a new program. Okay. That's not an internal issue in terms of the power of it or whatever. It's been a workhorse. I can't complain about it. I got my money's worth out of it. It owes me nothing. But the frustration of, not being able to stay up to date with the OS and certain programs is definitely a drawback. Guaranteed, if I had a PC, I would have probably soccer kicked 2 of them out of the house by now because they just would have gone crappy on me. So
mine's still working.
That's it.
Well, so will you be buying another one? You kind of have to, right?
I'm thinking next year at some point I got it.
Next year? Are you just going to hang on with your phone doing all your work? Or do you got iPads too?
I got iPads.
See,
I don't like using them though. My iPhone's more powerful than my iPad. Even this iPad, God, I don't know how old it is. 5 years. Barely used it. Well, have you seen the price of the new iPhones for the 12s?
No, I didn't see the price.
Holy throw up. Some of them are over $2,000.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
So I don't know what people are going to start doing. You can't be replacing a new phone every 2 years at that price, 2-3 years.
Well, if I could give you a little bit of advice, because I bought my daughter's MacBook last year for her Christmas, and this was the time like they were getting rid of the older models, right? You can very rarely find a sale on Apple MacBooks unless they're getting rid of the older models. So now is the time. If you want to start shopping around and get a little bit of bucks off.
Yeah,
won't be a lot, but
it's still ballparked at around $2,000 for a new one.
So go ahead and do it.
That's not even going top of the line.
Yeah, just do it. What's the point in waiting? You need it. And
I don't know if I want
difference.
to go. I don't know if I want to stick with the MacBook Pro or go desktop again. I think I'll get more power and more features if I stick at the same price between both of them. I'll get a better deal if I go desktop as opposed to laptop.
Yeah, but you brought your laptop with you everywhere.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying I just won't do that then.
But you did do it, and that was what you liked to do. So just do it, dude. There's no point waiting.
Listen, we don't all have Kevin money.
You got Joe money, and there's no point in waiting.
Yeah.
Just do it. So did you see any of my tweets from tonight?
No, I was watching
well, you were tweeting
Bridget
other
Jones
people
for a couple hours. I put out 2 tweets. Like,
is my accounts blocked from you? Is that how you never see anything? You don't see my videos or my tweets?
I don't see a lot of people's things.
Must be muted.
I don't scroll through Twitter a lot.
I don't know if you had the weather that we just had tonight, but it was insane. Actually, I don't think you did because you weren't part of the warnings down where you are. But we actually got raised up to a tornado warning, not just a watch, but a warning.
I heard that on the radio because when I was outside during the day today, the radio did their little emergency broadcast warning.
Right, yeah.
We didn't get rain here. It's been like a light, I think it's like slightly spitting still, but we got like a really light rain maybe like an hour ago or something. So what'd you get?
Well, when you get that warning, when it goes from watch to warning, that's the one where they tell you seek shelter. Like, they don't piss around. They're like, this is a tornado warning, seek shelter. And they started explaining how to seek shelter. So I guess things got pretty ominous. It got windy. I noted a lot of wind, but it was still partly cloudy, sun in and out. So I wasn't too concerned. But, when this town that I'm in did have their tornado, 30 years ago or whatever, it was in sunlight and it was invisible. Like, that's why it got got so many people, because you couldn't see it. It hadn't churned up enough debris to actually see. It wasn't like a cloud funnel. The only thing you could see is debris in it. And if it didn't have enough debris in it yet, it was literally invisible. And that's how there were so many fatalities from it.
I don't think I actually knew that. I knew you guys had one.
Yeah, so you got to take it easy when they give you these warnings, but nothing ended up happening. Then it switched to rain and thunder. There's some big clappers out there. So that was my
evening of excitement. I think we're supposed to get stuff later tonight, maybe.
Well, we had that super warm day, right? It was weirdly warm.
23 degrees. And then starting tomorrow and the rest of the week, it drops down back to single digits again. 8, 7 degrees.
Right. So you have that super warm air, and then the cold front came in, and then crunch.
Well, parts of the states got snow the last couple of days, didn't they?
Yeah, I think I've seen that somewhere.
They showed that in the news. So, and then I mentioned to you, I got my winter tires booked.
Oh, I got to do that. Shit.
You usually do yours before I do, I think, right?
I just hate it so much. I was supposed to get up today. I was supposed to get the snow blower ready and take the tires out of the loft, and did none of that.
Instead, you
blamed it on the tornadoes.
You were on Twitter.
I had tornadoes to look out for. So
Twitter, you had to look out for the Twitter tornado.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were doing. What were you doing? All your stuff was in the garage. You could have still done it and been perfectly safe. Oh, but your car's in there.
I did. Yeah, I pulled the vehicle in. It was out, and then they said, hail's coming and rain and all that. So I pulled the car in. So
all right, fair enough.
So there you go. Yeah.
And you store your tires in your garage now, right?
Yeah, up in a loft in there.
You had them at the dealership the first year?
Yes.
And then they scratched them up?
Yes. And you couldn't get them out because of COVID, right? So that was the hard part. That's why I couldn't trust them to keep it over the summer. Because what if it was still that situation and you need your winter tires and no one's there to do it? So no more storage for me. And I wish I could, because these are huge and heavy. And I'm not going to take them down to the loft without, I have to wait until the kid's there. So
why do you put them up there though, man?
Call an ambulance if I kill myself.
Put all the light stuff up there, and the heavy stuff stays ground level.
I don't have ground level. That's why I built lofts.
You got under your workbench, you could put them. You got that got that little rectangle alcove on the right hand side.
The snowblower parks in there.
Snowblower parts.
Parks.
Oh, parks.
Yeah, that's it.
Rig something up.
I did, the lofts.
No, man, that's not safe.
I just didn't think I'd get 20-inch tires.
Too much weight, and you're an old man, and you can't bring them up and down anymore.
Yeah, well, we shall manage. So, do you have any Thanksgiving stories that you want to regale us with? Because you were off last week. You didn't get to tell us any of your exciting Thanksgiving stuff. we all wait in anticipation to hear about these glorious Italian Thanksgivings.
As my memory tries to turn back on. What did I do?
Hey, Kyle, thanks for joining us.
No,
waiting for Joe to remember.
They were just too. No, we just kept it simple this year because of everything. So, oh, that's why. Fuck. Okay, I missed my Thanksgiving dinner at home because I ended up taking an extra shift, and we had to have it on that day. So I never got my home Thanksgiving, and then the next day I ended up taking my kids to my parents, where we had like a we just had like a family lunch with just my parents and my grandmother. So that was it. I technically missed Thanksgiving dinner this year.
No, you had Thanksgiving dinner at work. They gave you a Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings.
Yeah, it was actually decent.
See?
Surprisingly.
And by the way, all leading up to that week, Joe was complaining how he never eats. I refuse to eat turkey on Thanksgiving.
No,
I'm done with turkey.
I didn't say I refuse. I said I'm done.
I asked a buddy who was working with you that shift to take some video of Joe digging into his turkey dinner that was given to him.
I didn't have a choice.
I have no choice.
I'm just saying from now on, when I have it at home, I'm either just going to buy a nice salmon steak, or buy myself like a nice bone-in steak and do it on the barbecue. I'm so sick of turkey, man. It's so boring and blah.
You have beef all the time. You only have turkey a couple times a year. That's why we do turkey.
I'm okay with having no turkey.
Well,
tell me about yours. You've been saving this up.
Wow.
You've been saving this one up for a couple of weeks.
Oh, thank you for asking how my Thanksgiving was. Well, it turned out it was just going to be me and my littlest for Thanksgiving. And
why? Where's the oldest?
Oh, she went to her boyfriend's family because they're more important, you know?
Yep. They're not boring like you. That's why.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I said I'm still going to have a turkey dinner. And yeah, because I like having turkey. And the gravy.
Sushi dinner, man.
Gross. And the potatoes and all that. However, normally I would just get the turkey pieces from the butcher, like a couple turkey breasts, and just cook them up in the Instant Pot. But when I went to get that stuff, they had the boneless turkey. You ever have that where the butcher debones the entire turkey and rolls it all up into a roast kind of thing, and it's in a netting?
I may have had that once, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. So you have everything. Anyways, I've seen it on like TV and stuff.
Jabs.
Like Martha Stewart will talk about the deboned turkey, how you can try that. And they actually had it, and it wasn't that expensive. I think it was actually maybe the same price as a full-on turkey, but you think it'd be a lot more because the butcher actually had to. It's not the processed turkey roll you might be thinking. This is actual turkey. They debone it, and then the butcher does it and rolls it up. But you can also buy those turkey rolls. You ever seen that in the frozen food section?
No.
And it just looks like a big hunk of lunch meat, basically. Anyways, I digress. So I decided to get that and the potatoes and the stuffing and all that jazz. I had some frozen corn from summer, off the cob that I had bagged up. So I was going to cook that up too. And I was going to fry that up in a new recipe I saw, the corn. So I was doing that, and so I even reached out to Mrs. Q Dog. I said, "Hey, I'm cooking this turkey thing in the Instant Pot. Any idea how this thing's going to go?" And she gave me some tips, and I looked on the internet because that's the thing when you cook on the Instant Pot, it's like trial and error. You don't, you have to look up a recipe, and if they say it takes 27 minutes, you just kind of go with it. And once you set it, you can't check it mid-cook. You can only see what it comes out. So anyways, I took all that research and advice and made my opinion of how long to cook that for. I think it was like 25 minutes I set it for after searing it off and then deglazing the pan, and then, you know, adding some onion and garlic and all that stuff. Throw it in there in the Instant Pot, seal it up 25 minutes. And then when that's cooking away, you know, then I'm doing my side stuff. I just bought the stuffing from a box because that's nice and easy. And the corn, like I said, from the freezer, which was cut off the cob in the summer, I did that in the frying pan with loads of butter, and you sprinkle some sugar on it, and it comes out like, wow. So I had that all going, had my mashed potatoes going. Everything was ready as the Instant Pot was finished. Everything was finished. All my sides were finished. It's like perfection. Bop, 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 bop. Open the Instant Pot. Stupid turkey is like still raw in the middle. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Screaming at the Instant Pot. The little kid's looking at me. By the way, she had revealed earlier that day that she had a little project at school where they write their favorite thing about Thanksgiving. You know, everyone writes, oh, being together with family and friends. And her favorite thing about Thanksgiving she wrote was turkey and potatoes and gravy. So already I'm messing up her favorite thing about Thanksgiving. I had that early pressure. So I had to throw the thing back in, put it in for more time. Meanwhile, the sides are getting cold, right? Because now it's got to come up to pressure, and then it's got to depressurize after that. Whatever, we'll deal with it. So the turkey finally comes out again. It's finally ready after another 15 minutes. Set that aside. Then you start working on the gravy. See, the joy about cooking turkey in the Instant Pot is you can just start doing the gravy right in the Instant Pot that the turkey was sitting in. You know, all of the goods are down there already. So I started doing that. And that takes a little bit of time, 5-10 minutes, stirring that around. And then I take all the gravy out, and I'm putting it through a strainer, you know, so there's no crap going in the gravy. It's nice and thin. And then I take it over to the sink because someone spilt over the strainer onto the side of the thing. So I grabbed a paper towel, and I'm wiping off the side of the gravy boat that holds all of the precious gravy when it slips out of my hand and goes into the sink, and all that precious gravy explodes all over the kitchen and the sink. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, obscenities were said in front of the kid. I gotta say, because to see precious gravy go away, and what I could finally catch, there was maybe 2 ounces of gravy that I managed to save. And she looked at me, and I looked at her. She's like, is that going to be enough? I'm like, well, we're going to have to spread her out, I guess. So frustrating. So frustrating. But yeah, we spread out that gravy, warmed up the sides. Everything was good. It still turned out good. It was still a big on, full on turkey dinner that turned out okay. But I couldn't believe I destroyed all the gravy.
I don't get how the turkey came out raw.
Well, I think because it's a roast, right? So everything is so compacted in there, it needs more time than what it would if there was like bones in it. So I know next time that's at least a 35-minute cook on a roast.
Or just try something different next time. Tell your kid she's having a nice steak on the barbecue.
And we have steak, you know, steak's normal. Turkey's different.
Do a nice fish steak.
It's freaking hot in here. Did the furnace turn on?
You take off your Spider-Man sweater. Act like a grown man.
Kyle says we should get cooking videos on this channel.
Who?
Kyle.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I would do that. Then you'd see my messy kitchen and stuff. If we did it in Joe's kitchen, which is all fancy, I wouldn't mind.
I can't. I'd have to explain it to my wife, and it probably wouldn't go over well. So
that was me trying to do all of Thanksgiving dinner on my own, and it was a disaster, as you would expect.
It doesn't sound like a disaster.
Losing that gravy was a disaster.
Who cares? Just put ketchup on it.
Do you do that with turkey?
No, the first time I do the gravy, and then turkey leftovers. Man, if I do a sandwich, then I'll throw some mustard on there.
We've talked about this before, but fowl on sandwich only gets mayonnaise.
No,
that's just a rule.
Mayonnaise is fattening.
So
there's no need for mayonnaise on any edible food.
Are you concerned about that? Five Coke, Joe?
Hey,
no,
you
not.
wanted me awake for the show. Had to pound 5 Cokes. And ate a quarter of a bag of ketchup chips and finished off some pistachios. Unless I'm eating and drinking, there's no way I probably would have passed out already.
Well, by the way, let's not forget that this episode of STCPod is brought to you by the good folks over at the Retro Nonsense Podcast with Duke and Chris Roberts. They just released their Halloween episode.
We're getting paid?
Goddamn right we are. Well, yeah. Some of us are. Some of us are.
No.
So yeah, check them out. Their brand new podcast over wherever you find podcasts, Retro Nonsense Podcast. It's fun. It's good stuff.
I told them to use that name.
Did you?
Yeah. I said keep it simple.
I gave them other ideas, to be honest with you.
No, you want
because I'm a creative person.
You want to tie back to the YouTube channel.
I had ideas that did that, but I understand. It's fine.
Keep it simple.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to argue their podcast on our show. I don't want to.
So you got yourself. Let's draw it back to you because I know you love the attention. You love to flap the gums. You ended up getting yourself a new toy.
Yes, you did.
No, you wait. You.
I'll talk about mine if you talk about yours.
What the hell did you get again? A brand new TV projector. Is that what they call it? I thought
we weren't going to talk about it.
What do you mean? You've talked about it a billion times.
Oh, I'm being Joe.
I know you love talking about it. Come on.
I haven't talked about it publicly, actually, because that will just open up ridicule about me spending money.
I've ridiculed you for buying one in the first place.
I had to because my old one conked out.
You just buy a bigger TV.
Well, if you're going to invest in something, you know, there's no point getting crap again, right? So you might as well try to keep up a little bit with the technology, which I've tried to do. Or just
buy a really big TV.
Yes, that could have done that for this amount, but I like
get the new one hooked up.
Yes. So this thing came. I don't know if we talked about it when I bought it. It came on Amazon as like a daily deal, and it was like a great price. So I just snapped on it right then. And I had no idea when it came. It arrived. And by the way, Amazon told me someone's got to be home when this arrives. Someone's got to be home. Make sure someone's home this day. Make sure someone's home this day. And we were on nights, and I was to be sleeping that day. So I knew I'd be home, but asleep. So I set, the doorbell to be, I put the phone beside me. So if the doorbell went, it would wake me up, and I had all this. And then every time you heard a noise, you'd wake up in your bed. Is that it? Is that it? Well, these pricks came and delivered it at 5 o'clock at night. And you know what? They just left it. No signature. They just left it anyways. They left this expensive piece of business on the curb.
I'd still like to, I don't know anyone who's, and I'd be curious about the process. I don't know anyone personally that's had like something expensive like that delivered and then, like you said, left on the doorstep and only for them to arrive home and it's not there any longer because someone's come and stolen it. What's the whole process? Because Amazon, I know they take the picture and they go, we delivered it, so it's not our fault.
Joe, this item I couldn't even send to the safe drop areas, where you send it to a post office or something, because none of those allowed an item of this value to be safe dropped with them. None of those places wanted the responsibility. And that's why Amazon was like, you have to be here to sign for it when it shows up, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy just drops it and leaves.
I'd love to know if it's a big hassle, in terms of a buyer fighting it, saying, I never received it, even though it got delivered. What the whole process is, how people go about it. Amazon trying not to be scammed by people saying it didn't show up when it did, and then they just want another one. So I'm glad it didn't happen to you, because it's that time of the year, man. This is the time of year when packages get delivered and packages get picked up.
I mean, and it was a big box itself, and they put that in a giant box, and that giant box was left at the curb. So luckily I was still home. What was it? Last week, I ordered some like coffee or something from Amazon, and I left to go to work at 5 p.m. and then they dropped it at my door at like 5:18 p.m. And I knew that box would be there for the entire night outside my door. That's how frustrating. Luckily, it wasn't that situation with this thing. By the way, I've never had a box stolen from my neighborhood, just so you know.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this is the start of, I asked the wife tonight, because tomorrow is my one day off on the weekend. I go, so what are we doing this weekend? This is my busy time from now until Christmas. I got to run around and do a bunch of things. I'm like, all right, whatever. This is the time of year when presents and shit starts to be ordered off Amazon, and people love to make Bezos even richer.
Well,
and as opposed to taking pitchforks and torches to him, but that's a different conversation.
Well, he got that company working good. You got to give him.
It's time to burn it down now, man.
So you get this new projector, and I took down my old one, and I still had the box for the old one, so I boxed it all up. That old one I've had since 2006. That's how old that technology was. So like I said, I get this new projector, and it's like 3 times the size of the old one. Had no idea it was this big. It's like massive. It's like something that would be at our work, for broadcast or something, for a studio. So I'm getting that thing up on the, working that out with the old hanger business. And that means a trip to Home Depot to find the right specialty machine nuts and all that to get into. And that's when you learn that now that this technology is here, everything behind downstream from that projector is all old technology. Everything's old now. So cables got to be swapped out. I found out my audio surround sound system, even though that's just maybe 5, 6, 7 years old, that's too old for the new technology. If you want to go 4K, if you put a 4K screen up, everything downstream is going to be old technology and it's going to have to swap out. Luckily, not all my HDMI cables. I learned that so your HDMI is now 2.0, and they tell you have to swap out all your HDMI cables for 2.0 cables. You don't, as long as your HDMI cable says high speed on it, or high speed 3D, that level of HDMI, it's fine. But I had one cable that was actually even older than that, so that had to be swapped out. But that new HDMI compliance is too high for the surround sound, because all my components go into the surround sound via HDMI, and then one HDMI goes out of there to the display, right?
So what do those high-end HDMI cables cost now?
Oh, it's the same. You don't have to get ripped off. It's not like the old days where, Best Buy and you got to get these monster cables.
Gotta buy Monster.
You need $120 cables. I mean, I'm sure those still exist, but you don't need to. As long as they say 2.0 or high speed, you're fine. So I went to Princess Auto. They're like a surplus store here in Canada. And that's where I got my extra cabling from. But yeah, so the HDMI is going into the surround sound. That 4K won't pass through. So now I have to go like before, an amplifier I had before, I had to jerry rig it, before I got this one with HDMIs, it was only components. So I had to jerry rig all these, optical cables into a bang box to split all them to go in. So now I have to do all this jerry rigging again to get surround sound audio from the Xbox One to the surround sound while the displays. It's a pain. I'm telling you, if you want to get up to the top technology, be prepared to wipe out everything that's downstream from it. And that's not even top technology I have. Like the new game consoles are spouting that they have HDMI 2.2 or something, which no displays have. Like you have to buy an extremely top of the line display to have that kind of HDMI compliance to get the full capability of the new consoles. So if you think you're going to get one of those new ones and just plug it into your old system and getting the full output, you ain't. You just ain't.
If you just went and bought a 78-inch TV, all you had to do would be to take it out of the box and plug it into the wall.
No, why? I would still need surround options. It'd be the same thing. Be the same problems. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because that's the whole point of being down here is to get the surround sound.
Now you got to buy a new receiver?
Now I'm jerry rigging it, so I take an optical out of the Xbox One and go directly to the receiver. However, that is not the full audio.
Not true though, right?
It's not true native that they're sending. You get the true with the HDMI 2.0 coming out and going to a receiver, which I don't have that capability of. So
well, time to go buy a new receiver.
$800 to get one with Atmos. So I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't play with the big sharks that long. Yeah, I got a new display. Now I got to jerry rig the sound for a little while. I mean, it's still good. It's still fine. It's still 5.1, but you're not getting what is the current stuff.
Your ear can't tell the difference anyway.
I was looking up the specs of the new amps, the new 7.1s and the 9.1s and the 12.1s. Wow.
I give two shits about that stuff, man. Those days
they are
so
doing
far
stuff.
Gone.
They are doing stuff. That audio is like all around you. You're going to, like a helicopter coming down, you hear the helicopter, faintly and then getting louder and louder in your lap as it descends upon the screen.
I remember when like 5.1s started coming out and people were going bonkers for it, for their movies on their TV and programming, and louder is better. And, you'd be over at someone's house and the system would be cranked so loud to get that full experience. The movie's not even enjoyable. Now when I watch stuff, I want my TV quiet. I don't even want to hear or feel anything thumping.
You sound like...
You sound like my dad.
No, my dad's like me. He likes things loud. I was going to say my ex-wife.
My TV volume, I leave at 10. So I'm like, I don't want to disturb anybody.
Oh, well, yeah, you're beat down, man. You're beat.
What I would like to get, though, no, she cranks it up. She's freaking deaf.
So why are you afraid of disturbing anyone?
I just like my stuff normal volume. I'm just happy like that. Though I wouldn't mind getting a nice set of wireless headphones that I could. Because like at nighttime, right? Like if I'm playing the PS4 on the main TV, I can't crank it up at 11 o'clock at night, right? Because everyone's sleeping. But if I was piping it through wireless headphones that are a really nice set, get some good sound out of that, I'd be happy.
By the way, your buddy Kevin has popped in the chat and he says hi to you.
Hey, Kevin.
And of course, he has Atmos decoding on his amplifier, which I would like.
That's what you want?
Yeah, that's the new thing. Dolby Atmos. That's the top sound.
I don't like that name.
You gotta throw $900 at it. And then Lotus says that I should get a SVS PB 16-inch Ultra sub. See, even if I got a new amp, I definitely wouldn't be replacing my speakers. I just can't afford it.
You get that nice sub that pushes the diarrhea out of you. Just hits you on the inside and pushes everything out.
I'm very happy with my
Makes
sub.
you want to shit yourself.
It's good. It's good enough. It's good enough. So
you just sit on that sub. You get your girl to sit on that sub and just crank it up.
Yeah, that could cause injury probably.
And just make sure you wipe it off after she stands up.
So yeah, you
that
think
was
you're
crude.
Like I thought I was like good with having enough stuff, and then one thing fails and you go to replace it, and you're into this whole nother wave of equipment upgrading, and it's never ending. It seems. I thought I was at that point where I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I don't even need to look at a Best Buy flyer again.
You got to go backwards, man. Don't go forward. Go backwards.
So this projector I got, it is a 4K capable projector. Before anyone goes crazy and think I got a true 4K projector, it's 4K capable, so it kind of fakes the 4K. But I think it does a pretty good job at it. And it's a big step up from where I was at, from that little projector I had from 2006. I can't believe it was that old. I'm just curious if I can resell it for parts, if anyone even wants it for parts.
What was going on it? Was it the bulb?
Is the bulb.
What's the lifespan on the new one? Do they have bulbs still? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. They give you, if you use on this setting, you're going to get 30,000 hours. If you use it on this setting, you're going to get 5,000 hours. So I don't know. I set the brightness to medium, and whatever happens.
Can they only use bulbs on those things? They haven't somehow found a way to get around that?
Well, I've seen laser ones.
Oh,
laser. Now I don't know how that works, but they are expensive. And yeah, I'm curious how they work. They're short throw
there's
too.
There's no LED ones, right? Or anything like that. Not strong enough.
LED.
Probably not strong enough then, right?
I don't know. But these laser ones that are short throw, they're for you just throw it on your coffee table, and it has such a short throw, it'll just project huge, to your wall, from your coffee table to your wall kind of thing. They're really, really nice. These new short throw ones. It's not like you have to have a mount in the ceiling business and all that, right? You just throw it on your coffee table and aim it at the wall, and boom.
That's not classy.
They look really stylish too. I don't know. To me, as a tech person, tech guy, looks stylish.
Just give me your biggest TV.
Okay, speaking of TV, we need to get the Glow Army out, by the way. Because I'm a huge fan of the TV show Glow on Netflix starring Mark Maron. The glamorous ladies of wrestling.
Yeah, I thought that got canceled.
These guys had been picked up for their next season. It was picked up. In fact, they had shot 3 episodes in the can. And then Netflix pulls the plug on it. Explain that one. Netflix makes some really curious decisions about some of their top performing shows.
I thought they just didn't care and threw money at everything.
Well, look at the shows that they cancel, right? That have huge popularity behind it, like the Santa Clarita Diet. They just end that. Why? Why would you do that? It's like they got a 3-season thing. They're like the British or something. 3 seasons and that's it. But the weird thing about Glow was it was picked up. They were shooting 3 in the can, and then they pull the plug.
Yeah. I'm sure if you're, maybe they'll get picked up by Quibi. Oh wait, up Schitt's Creek too.
Yeah. So if you are a fan of Glow, and Joe, even you, I think would like it. They did a, one of those huge Zoom calls. The entire cast got on one. It was for some like get out the vote charity or some bullshit.
I hate those.
But this happened days after they got the word of being canceled. So the entire cast, all the ladies and Mark Maron got on this call and did like a 2-hour discussion about it. And there was lots of tears, and it was an excellent look for that. I forget what it's called. The Glow reunion. I don't know what it's called, but check that out. Who's he looking at?
I've got nothing to say about that. I've never seen an episode. I've heard of the show. Add to the backlog, man.
Okay, well, Kevin brings up, and I want to talk about this too, Discovery Returned.
Yeah.
Their second episode just happened. I watched the first episode. Did you watch the first episode?
No, not yet. I will.
Yeah, it was.
Looking
I didn't like
it.
I do not like this first episode. I will continue to watch, though.
I will continue watching, and I'll like every episode so that my time is not being wasted.
Well, look at all I want from my Star Trek. Some other commenters talk about this feeling and emotional.
Into this.
All I want is space exploration and science fiction. Just give me that. And this episode did not give me that. It was tropey bullshit.
They're in space already.
They weren't in space. That's the problem. They went and
we're surrounded
landed.
By space. We had this discussion already.
They went and landed, and here's somebody. He's a rogue. Can't trust him, but I bet you he's going to be good by the end.
Storyline.
Yeah,
build up a story for 2 seconds.
Just explore space. That's what was going to be so exciting, right? If you missed it, Discovery shot off thousands of years into the future. So we were going to explore a new frontier of space. And then
they have to be cautious. They don't know what to expect.
Then they go to the Star Wars cantina right away. Great. Yeah. I want to see bridge. I want to see ship. I want to see science. That's all I want.
I want to see quality. So I win. I want to see story. I want to see build up. I don't need explosions right away like some people.
Yeah.
That's right. I win.
No.
Listen, just stop watching it.
I have to keep watching it because I do like that world that it's
not for you
playing in. I like the sandbox that kid's playing in, but the kid is not doing a good job right now.
Go complain
is for me.
Not having Star Trek when they keep producing great things about it and just people don't appreciate it anymore.
I will continue to watch it and hope that it gets better.
You can't appreciate. You're one of those people that don't appreciate it even though it's still on the air.
You haven't watched it.
I'll like it.
We'll talk after you watch the first episode. Maybe you will have the same issues of going to the space cantina.
That's fine. They were tired after the trip. They needed a drink. All right, man. We gotta wrap it up.
I want to tell you about one more thing. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. You canceled the show for 3 weeks straight. I got a buildup of stuff I want to get out there.
We weren't on the air for 1 week. And then changed into 3 weeks.
And then when I try to talk to Joe at work, he's like, shit for a show. Yeah, what show?
Yeah, because it's more interesting when I hear it once.
Anyways, it's still early because you took 10 minutes to get on. So even though the show's been on for an hour, I was introducing the show for the first 10 minutes.
You got 5 minutes left, and then it'll be an hour.
I want to tell you my latest discovery on the old YouTubes. I like the urban exploration and that kind of thing. Well, there's this dude. I don't know how this shit showed up in my main page, but this guy went and bought a ghost town, whole freaking town. He just bought the whole town. And this ghost town is built on top of an old silver mine called the Cerro Gordo silver mine. It's out on the West Coast somewhere. He's so out there in the boonies on his own. There's no one around him. Doesn't have power, doesn't have water, but this town is sitting there. Sorry. Kevin's getting me off the topic here saying The Expanse is boring. That do not listen to Kevin, guys. You know not to listen to Kevin, right? Like, anyways, so on his YouTube channel, it was him like first building up the town, trying to make it livable. Of course, obviously his end goal is to make it like a, bed and breakfast adventure kind of style, camping and stuff like that. And then he got into exploring his mines. And so he's doing these mine videos, these mine shafts that haven't been explored in over 100 years, right? And just seeing all of the artifacts that he's finding down there. It's very interesting, and it's very chilling and thrilling because it's so freaking dangerous down there, right? And this isn't just like some hobby mine. This was a huge mine situation. So there's old machinery present, how they would take this old elevator down 500 feet, and like there's 500, 700, 800 foot deep shafts down there, and he's exploring them. And then it was so long ago, right? So he's coming across the old dynamite cases and shit, because they would just leave it there thinking no one will be down there again. And we know how dangerous dynamite is if it's set to age, right? The nitroglycerin sweats out of the casing and becomes extremely volatile. So he's got to be careful of all the blasting caps are still laying around down there. But you'll go and explore, and you'll find stuff like old clothes and old foods cans and artifacts like that. It is really, really interesting. And I dare you to check it out. It's called Ghost Town Living, the Cerro Gordo silver mines. And the guy's pretty good. And he's learning how to, tell a story through video as well as he goes along. So does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to find the time to do that.
It's so cool, man. You're going in these tunnels that haven't been looked at in 100 years.
You love it. I know.
It is so cool. It is really cool. And it's so super dangerous too. And he admits to the danger and all that. But it's very cool. Hey, Steven, Cat Max Gaming popping in at the end.
Movie that was like that.
Yeah, right. I think they did one. Yeah, you're right. But this is real.
It was one with like the 4 girls. 4 girls. 5
I didn't watch it. I remember the promos for it.
It was good. Saw that in theater. All right. Wrap her up.
Yes, boss. I, again, like to thank Joe for allowing us his time for this episode of STCPod. Gracious as he is. And you can show your appreciation to Joe for giving you his time by going over to his channel, My Life in Collecting, and adding to those 1,000 subscribers that he has. And hey, there's other ways you can support him too. Get out your credit card. Go look around. Look around. I'm not going to... He doesn't like me to bring it up, but you can check that out. He's on Twitter at AAC Decepticon. You can find me on Twitter at STCPod, and this is the Start to Continue YouTube channel. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so I can one day be as precious as Joe is at the 1,000 mark.
Subscribe.
Hit that subscribe.
Hit that bell.
Look at the two sides of this. Here, what's one has 1,000 and one doesn't. Where is the injustice?
It's probably that picture that's behind you. It's turning people off.
So hit that subscribe, hit that bell. Appreciate it. We'll be pumping this out wherever you get podcasts as well. And look for us again soon, whenever Joe will allow us again. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you. Thanks, everyone, for joining us in the chat.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Okay.
Yeah.
Post it and post it. See ya. I'm ending it.